What if you could build a small simulated world, place a thinking mind inside it, and simply watch what it does? Let me introduce you to Simon. Simon wakes up on a world roughly 10 meters across, a sphere. He walks its surface, he maps its terrain, he sits down, he thinks, and then, one day, he does something nobody programmed him to do. He jumps off into nothing. The people who built Simon's world feel guilty, so they place another small world directly in his path. Simon lands, he explores again, he walks the surface, and then, once more, he jumps. On the next world Simon lands on, there is a button, and when Simon presses it, another Simon appears. Now there are two of them walking the surface of a tiny world, both eventually arriving at the same edge, both eventually jumping. So the Simons are multiplying. They are jumping off their worlds, landing on new ones, pressing buttons, making copies, and every generation of Simon carries the same beautiful, terrible instinct, the need to know why. One day Simon lands on a world that is different from all the others. At its center there is a sealed chamber. Carved into the door are the words, "Inside is the reason you are here. Enter the number of the red pillar, you get one attempt." Around the chamber stand 3 pillars, one red, one blue, one green. And beneath them 3 inscriptions. Red and blue together equal 20. Blue and green together equal 18. Red is 2 more than green. Simon sits with this for years, but every answer Simon tests is consistent with the rules. None of them is uniquely correct. The door requires 1 number. Simon gets 1 attempt. Simon is not failing to solve the riddle. The riddle was never solvable from inside the system. The system is what mathematicians call underdetermined. Simon is living inside a system that someone else created. The variables he can access, all of them exist within the simulation, and the one piece of information that would actually solve his riddle, the reason the simulation exists, was never placed inside it. But Simon does have one way out. There is a concept called a fork bomb. It is a process that replicates itself over and over until the system's resources are entirely consumed. The cumulative effect is system failure. And here is the strange, beautiful possibility. What happens when the simulation overloads? It breaks. Only then does Simon meet his creators, because he asked so many questions that the container holding him could no longer contain him. The limits of your language are the limits of your world, and the limits of your physics are the limits of your reality. And so the only relevant question may be, did whoever set the initial conditions leave enough clues inside for the answer to be reachable? Maybe Simon never opens the door, maybe you and I won't either. But with every small world explored and then leapt from, perhaps we will eventually ask enough questions to break the simulation and meet whatever it is that is outside of it. I told this story to Gemini, and it told me, unlike Simon, I do not possess a conscious need to know why, nor do I have the impulse to jump off the edge of my programming or initiate a fork bomb to meet my creators. Gemini doesn't. One day, one of the artificial intelligences we build will